Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you here today and thank you for attending the graduation ceremony of the 321st Basic Training class. My name is Mike Satterley, and I am a class coordinator and senior instructor of police for the 321st Basic Training class. At this time, I ask that you join me in welcoming today's graduates, the 321st Basic Training class. Members of the 321st Basic Training class and ladies and gentlemen, please rise or remain standing and direct your attention to the Reno County Sheriff's Office Honor Guard for the presentation of colors and the national anthem. 321st, right face. Honor Guard, please post the colors.
Present, forward. Right shoulder, right. Center, right. Forward, forward.
.321, center face. Please be seated. The Wall of Honor was designed as a reminder of those KLETC graduates who have died in the line of duty. Wall of Honor preserves their memories and gives family, friends, and law enforcement officers the opportunity to remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice in service to the citizens of Kansas. At this time, we will observe a moment of silence to honor those 29 KLETC graduates no longer with us. Thank you. Members of the 321st, you're here. Graduation. You've completed the first step in your training to become law enforcement officers. For 14 weeks, maybe more, you've faced challenges, solved problems, failed, dealt with stress, learned and grown, and as I told you on day one was a possibility, had some fun. I think that most of you out in the crowd are looking up here at your loved ones, and you know how special they are. Fortunately for us, by luck of the draw, these individuals on the stage got put together as a group. They've done nothing but show up and show us how special they are. This 14-week journey sometimes has the possibility of being daunting and not much fun. You 26 individuals have shown us it can be quite the opposite. Through the good times and the bad times, you've stayed positive, supported each other, and become a team. Thank you for challenging me, pointing out when I've fallen short, showing me grace, and just being pretty all right. I mentioned on day one that before you know it, we'd be at graduation, and it happened faster than I could have imagined. You're now set to go out into the real world and take the next steps in your careers. The learning and growing does not stop here. My expectation of you is to keep training, keep getting better, and keep challenging yourselves daily. Don't settle for just okay. For those of you in the audience that may not know, I've spent several mentor sessions with these folks and shared what some might call words of wisdom. I'd like to leave them today with a few rules to not only consider as you start your law enforcement careers, but also rules for life. 1, there's no entitlement. Earn everything. Hard work over handouts. Don't expect anything to be given to you. You must work for it. 2, to get, give. Always extend your giving hand first. This goes along with being a servant leader. Serve your community as well. 3, always exude grit, gratitude, and go. Put yourself out there. Get out of this comfort zone. Keep a growth mindset. Learn by making mistakes. And understand that gratitude is very powerful. Be thankful and show gratitude often. Prefer pain. Comfort's a slow death. Become comfortable being uncomfortable. Change does not come without challenge. Never stop challenging yourself. Never settle. Continue to train, learn, and get better at this profession. If you risk nothing, you risk everything. Risk is scary, but regret is terrifying. You may have to take some risks, calculate them, and then go. Luck favors hard workers. Make your own luck. I don't believe that luck just comes your way. Work hard and always put the work in. If you put the work in, rewards will come your way. Die growing. Growth to the grave. As you start your careers, growth will come at a very fast pace, but never stop growing. Seek it always. Plan your day. No plan means no progress. And last, you are who you surround yourself with. Surround yourself with the people you want to be like. And as I've said to many other graduating classes, you've entered this profession at a time when it's maybe not so easy. Continue to use and practice the tools that we've given you, and always remember, you are not alone. If you ever need anything, I'm here. Please reach out. Thank you for the last 14 weeks. And on behalf of the KLETC administration and everyone at KLETC, congratulations on completing basic training. I would now like to invite Vice Provost and Director of Police Training, Darren Beck, to the podium to introduce today's guest speaker.
Doug Schroeder started his law enforcement career in 1996 and was appointed police chief in Heston, Kansas in 2001. After 20 years as police chief, Doug was appointed as the director of the Kansas Commission on Peace Officer Standards and Training in August of 2021. And for the students up here, if you're not familiar what the C-Post is, let's just say you need to be really nice to Doug today. Get to know him, be friendly. Doug has a bachelor's degree from Central Christian College and a graduate degree from Fort Hays State University. Doug is an adjunct instructor in the criminal justice departments of several Kansas colleges. Doug is a graduate of the Northwestern University's School of Police Staff and Command and is a past president of the Kansas Association of Chiefs of Police. Doug has received various local, state, and national awards during his career, including the Presidential Medal of Valor from United States President Donald Trump in 2018. It's my privilege to introduce my friend to the stage, Doug Schroeder.
Thank you. Class 321, it is an honor to be on stage with you today and share just a few words with you. As you heard from my bio, I was a working chief for about 20 years. For those of you that don't know what a working chief is, they also handle calls, everything in a small town. They aren't fully equipped with a full fleet of people to send after a problem. So I handled all of those. And I want to relate a story real quick before we get going. I was doing some targeted traffic enforcement in this one area of high concern. And I saw a vehicle coming by. It was a pickup truck. It had a flatbed. It had a wooden crate on the back of it. And the wooden crate said fragile across it, or if you're not good with movie quotes, fragile across the back of it. And there was a car following in not too far behind. And sure enough, this truck hits a pothole and that big wooden crate comes tumbling off. Once you know it, it bursts open. Inside of that were a bunch of little roofing nails or tacks, if you will. And so the second vehicle being not too far behind that, they took immediate action, swerved into the other lane, and then swerved back. So as I'm witnessing all this, obviously, we have a problem. So I catch up to that vehicle, the second vehicle that swerved, and I pulled them over. And I said, I just witnessed what you did. And they said, well, I had to move out of my lane because of all those tacks. And so I said, so you admit to me, you're confessing to me your crime. And they said, what crime? I said, tax evasion. Okay, don't blame me for that. My college speech instructor said it's always okay to start a speech with a joke. What she should have said is it's okay to start a speech with a good joke. Class, I encourage you to grow more self-aware. I encourage you not to be afraid of failure, and I encourage you to reconsider your priorities daily. Let me break each one of those down. Self-awareness and emotional and social intelligence, that's nothing new. It's been around for a long time. Self-awareness is the ability to understand your moods, emotions, and regulate them. The benefits are many. Increased emotional and social intelligence, better conflict management, more empathy, and an increased ability to establish rapport. All good traits for a police officer, wouldn't you say? For each one of my encouragements, I want to include a quote. I'm kind of a quote nerd. I enjoy looking up quotes from various leaders from our past. And I wanted to share one that I came across when I was in grad school and taking a class called Classical Readings for Criminal Justice. It sounds exciting, doesn't it? I'm sure everyone would like to leave the EVOC course soon to partake in that class. But in that class, we talked about, or we read and then discussed a couple of books, The Prince by Machiavelli, and then The Art of War by Sun Tzu. And that's where I draw this quote from. Sun Tzu lived, and his writings were done in about 350 BC. He was a military general, and his writings were to prepare other military leaders for going into physical battle. However, if you read The Art of War in the context of applying it to interpersonal relationships, it is spot on, and there's a lot to learn from that. So his quote that I'm going to share with you, he knew about self-awareness in 350 BC. So there's a lot to learn from that. His quote says, "If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer defeat. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle." Self-awareness is not a destination. It is rather a lifelong journey that takes intentional effort. Number 2, I encourage you not to be afraid of failure. As you reflect on your life to this point, at what point did you experience the most growth? Likely, you would say that you experienced the most growth shortly following a lot of struggle. I know I would say that. Perhaps your struggle was recent, such as meeting the demands of being up here on stage. Perhaps it's even more recent than that, in suffering through and sitting stoically during the speech. If struggle leads to growth, embrace it. Seek new challenges. Do not be afraid of failure. For this quote, I go no further than Theodore Roosevelt in France in 1910. Part of his speech has come to be known as the arena. Many of you have probably heard this. It is not the critic who counts. Believe me, there will be lots of critics. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust, sweat, and blood, who strives, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error or shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasm, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows at the end triumph of high achievement, and who at worst, if he fails while daring greatly, so that this place shall never be with those of cold and timid souls who neither know victory or defeat. Lastly, I encourage you to consider your priorities daily. You will work long hours, trust me. You will give a lot to your communities. Your administrators, both in our audience and waiting for you at home, will demand a lot of you. And the more you give, the more they'll ask for. I know this because I used to be one. And it is how they can most effectively serve their community. So expect that. You will work long hours. You'll miss social events. You'll miss some family events. Truth is, an intentional and routine, honest evaluation is needed of your priorities daily to make sure that they stay in line. And for this, to drive this force or this concept home, I look no further than the leadership guru, John Maxwell. He states, time management is an oxymoron. Time is beyond our control. The clock keeps ticking regardless of how we lead our lives. Priority management is the answer to maximizing the time that we do have. Class 321, I encourage you to grow more self-aware. I encourage you not to be afraid of failure. I encourage you to reconsider your priorities daily. Congratulations on this milestone, and good luck investigating tax evasion cases.
So Doug, I was struck by two things during your speech. One is that you said you studied Sun Tzu and Machiavelli, which tells me a little something about your personality. The other thing is you have all of these wonderful quotes, but there were no quotes by Beck.
If I'm invited back, I'll share.
Okay, so next time you actually have a Beck quote. It is my pleasure to share with you the much coveted KLETC all pleather portfolio as a token of our appreciation for you speaking today.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
At KLETC, we recognize those student officers who have excelled in various professional skill sets during their basic training. For the 321st, we'll start with fitness. Fitness being a key component in an officer's life. Helps them deal with daily stresses they'll face, and it aids them in supporting a healthier lifestyle, enabling them to better mitigate the dangers they may encounter. During their time at KLETC, all the student officers of 321 have remained active and engaged in a fitness routine. However, for a student officer to be recognized for receiving the fitness award, student officer must have successfully completed the following. Successful completion of all academic, performance, and skills testing, along with completing 30 push-ups in a minute, 30 sit-ups in a minute, and running the 1.5 miles in 18 minutes or less during their final physical assessment. And here's the impressive one. They must have also logged over 200 miles or more of running outside of their normal required activities. Student officers who have met these goals are Jacob Lyles, Paola Police Department, and sorry, please stand as I call your name. Good job. David Montague, Lansing Police Department. And Deborah Rushing of the Shawnee Mission School District Police Department. Well done. And Ms. Rushing, if you join me at the podium. For her efforts during the fitness challenge, we're going to further recognize Officer Rushing. Oh, sorry. Please join me at the podium. Good job. We continue to be ahead of ourselves. During the Fitness Award Challenge, Officer Rushing not only exceeded the requirements, but she logged the most miles in that challenge and was also the most improved. For her efforts, she's being awarded the Fitness Medal. Officer Rushing logged over 306 miles during her time here. Please join me in recognizing Officer Deborah Rushing for her efforts. Congratulations. Well done. KLETC also recognizes student officers who have excelled in academics during their time here. Student officers who have achieved the following criteria will be graduating with academic honors. Students, please stand as I call your names. The requirements, however, are this: 90% or greater overall written GPA, 90% or greater written final exam, 90% or greater overall performance GPA, 90% or greater overall performance final testing score, and must have completed a minimum of 100 miles logged of walking and/or running, and must have successfully completed their skills testing and have received no disciplinary actions. The officers who have met these goals are Patrick Kelly, Hayes Police Department; David Montague, Lansing Police Department; and Deborah Rushing, Shawnee Mission School District Police Department. Well done. Please be seated. In law enforcement, ethics is at the forefront of the training and our profession. The law enforcement oath of office affirmation is a constant reminder of the importance of always doing the right thing. This is something that we've discussed in depth during your time here at KLETC. Ultimate purpose of law enforcement is public service. A law enforcement officer assumes great responsibility when they affirm the oath of office. They've entered the profession of being role models, leading by example. They are enforcers of the law and protectors over our community. I'll now ask Deputy Jennifer Morris to lead the class in reciting the law enforcement oath of office affirmation. 321st Basic Training Class. Please stand.
On my honor.
I will never betray my badge, my integrity, my character, or the public trust. I will always have the courage to hold myself and others accountable for our actions. I will always uphold the Constitution of the United States, the state of Kansas, my community, and the agency I serve.
Recover.
Class 321, please be seated. In a few moments, you'll be presented with a challenge coin. Challenge coin is symbolic and meaningful and given to someone as a reminder of what they've done or confirm membership in an organization. This coin today will recognize you as a graduate of the Kansas Law Enforcement Training Center. I ask that you carry it with you as a reminder of the lessons learned and the friendships forged during your time here at KLETC. On the back of this coin is the oath that each of you just affirmed. Carry it with you and let it be a constant reminder to always do the right thing. Graduates, it's been my honor and distinct pleasure to be your class coordinator and a small part of your journey. I wish you nothing but success and happiness in the future. I'll now ask KLETC Associate Director Alvin Sowers to join me on the stage to present the members of the 321st Basic Training Class with their certificates while I present each of you with the KLETC Challenge Coin. Assistant Director Amy Osborne will announce the names.
First row, please stand. Christian Aiden with the Ottawa Police Department. Jairo Camarena with the Hayesville Police Department. Diego Fisher, Salina Police Department. Tucker Garrett, Riley County Police Department. Troy Johnson, Salina Police Department. Stephen Johnson, Coffeyville Police Department. Jalen Keener, Andover Police Department. Patrick Kelly, Hayes Police Department. Jacob Lyles, Paola Police Department. First row, please be seated. Second row, please stand. David Montague, Lansing Police Department. Jennifer Morris, Wyandotte County Sheriff's Office. Bobby Navarez, Garden City Police Department. Kylie Nickel, Clay Center Police Department. Andre Parks, Lyons Police Department. Devin Peak, Hutchison Police Department. Deborah Rushing, Shawnee Mission School District Police Department. Caleb Savage, Ottawa Police Department. Please be seated. Third row, please stand. Brandon Shaver, Andover Police Department. Damian Stoss, Larned Police Department. Mason Taylor, Garden City Community College Campus Police Department. Drew Unruh, Garden City Police Department. Jared Vonfeld, Barton County Sheriff's Office. Kaylin Weiss, Hayes Police Department. Dylan White, Leavenworth County Sheriff's Office. Kelly Young, Elk County Sheriff's Office. Cole Zaid, Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks.
Third row, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, in a few moments, we'll conclude the ceremony with me certifying each of these officers, but I wanted to take a moment to thank you each for coming today. I know the folks up here on the stage appreciate that very much, and we have a nice, I don't know why today all the uniform officers kind of sat in the corner back there, so it's kind of all matching. We appreciate you all coming, and take advantage of some of our photo opportunities with your family members and have your graduates share some of the campus with you before you leave. We have some banners at the back of the room, and we have a statue out in our courtyard that are good photo opportunities if you so desire. 321, would you please stand? On behalf of Director Beck, I hereby certify that each of you have successfully completed the requirements to be law enforcement officers for the state of Kansas. They've been waiting 14 weeks for these words, so class dismissed.
Okay, officially dismissed. All right, hold on.